All right, welcome everybody. It's not Wednesday, it's a Tuesday night, but we're catching some bonus Armal action. It's a B1 game with James, Garth, Bianca, and Hanley. And commentating for this first matchup will be uh, regular to the streams, Alex O. How's it going, Alex?
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
And also JPML Pro, Jen Barr. How's it going, Jen?
What's up?
I saw you were playing your games recently in A2. How did those go?
Hi, B2, B1, sorry,
Also
I'm in
B1,
B1
you're
as well.
right.
Yeah,
Also the same division
yeah,
as Garth here.
yeah. Well, I thought they went really well, but then Garth came and overtook me.
I'm very excited
So,
to hear your commentary for this game. You get to watch Garth, who's number 2 overall in division, and James, who's number 1. Go ahead and take it away.
already,
Yeah,
just go
we
ahead,
got
start.
we got 4 Pandora. We already have a call from dealer for double east, and is looking to move very quickly here. It's got a Conchon Rionmen, three Rionmens actually. So take your pick on which one's going to fill. First one, oh, that one filled.
Can't get rid of that. It keeps a 3 dot probably just in case he draws a Dora, but
Nope,
doesn't need it.
has other plan. Does not call South because South's probably going to be the pair in this hand. But
Garth's
like
trying to get a Sanshoku on the left over there.
yeah, 4, 5, 6 on
Or
Shoku,
6,
and
but has no
I don't know.
pairs, so it's gonna look probably. It's
It's
odd.
funny because it can be Itsu or Shanshoku depending on what he's favoring.
Each.
Yeah, not there. It is.
And
We
he's
call
going to take
the
the
if it
Sanshoku route.
if it's one away for either Sanshoku or Itsu full straight, when you can get either one at one away, we call the golden one away. Golden Ishanten.
So it is Reach, Pinfu, Sanshoku on the 6 mon, 3 6 mon, and
One Dora.
all of them in the wall.
Yeah, all the 6s and 3 of the 3s, it pretty much has no chance at getting.
Okay, now we have our helpful little guide here. So only 3 6s in the wall.
Yeah, and no 3s left in the wall. All the 3s are now in people's hands, and another 6 just went into Bianca's hand. And we have Hanley waiting for the same 3-6 character.
Double Roan could be quite a way to start the game.
And another one just went into James's hand. And the last one into Bianca's hand. There will be no wins for this hand.
Boy.
It's going to end in a draw.
Yeah, it's gonna look that way.
Yeah, Bianca and James are just folding. And it does end in a draw. The 2 players waiting for the 3-6 character are the Tenpai players. And that means that Hanley will continue as dealer.
Yeah, Garth and Hanley both pick up 1,500 points. But Garth, unfortunately, is behind 1,000 because he decided, hey, I think this hand can complete.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's a pretty standard reach, especially in East 1. I think I would reach as well, probably. Yeah. We were just talking about whether to reach or not in the most recent episode of Prost on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/mahjongjen, where Garth, who is also playing today, and I both hosted the Emiliger Sho Shiratori and also Armel favorite Light Pink Yoshi.
I think Bianca's hand, is Ishanten, I believe. Or now it's Ishanten.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of a interesting. Is perfect Ishanten, but it's kind of a shape that you don't normally see. Because it's also has the nakabukure shape, like the middle bulging shape.
Mhm. And James has called for Haku, so Yaku's secured. Now waiting to cash in, maybe on a couple of Dora, maybe. And our dealer is just waiting to get that last tile to find Tenpai.
リーチ
But never mind that, Bianca has found her last tile. It's waiting on 4-7.
リーチ
Yeah, all the sevens are in people's hands, and it looks like there's 1-4 left in the wall.
And there's a dealer chase. 6-9 pin. 1 9 pin in the wall. 2 6s. Yes. And that is going to be quite the expensive hand on the 6 pin for Ipeco.
Yeah, Bianca also has potential Ipeco double sequence, and the only tile left in the wall that she can win on is the higher end, but
That's a 6.
it's not gonna be discarded from anyone's hand if they draw it. Well, except the dealer. There it is!
Oh.
And
Reach
needs being
pieces.
Ipeco. 2 Dora, no Ura. Bianca will take 8,000 off Hanley and also move the dealer to herself.
Mm-hmm. She's going to take all the Ricci sticks in the pot. Says thank you. We have another 4 pin Dora. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. And that is 5 pairs for dealer for Chitoy.
Yeah, Chitoy, but the 5566 shape, it could possibly change back into a sequence hand. But not with that Dora. I think you definitely want to go for the all pairs here with the Dora and try and pair it up, or even just wait on it at the end as a single wait.
There's only one more 4 pin in the wall, so
And this is
he
a 4 Bim that I was talking about, that you could keep it for a potential sequence hand shift, but she does not. She's going straight for the all pairs. 3 comes, you're like, maybe I should have kept the 4 as well. But
this is where the backfires start to pile up, but it's okay. It's still very much early. And,
yeah, it is still early, but her discard does really kind of give away the all pairs hand.
Now that is a Sean 10 closer for James there. That is now Ishan 10, and dealer has found Tenpai. Will we be waiting on the green or the 4? And chose to wait on Dora and immediately deals it.
Wow. If she had reached, I don't think that would have happened. The pawn and also the 4 dot discard would not have happened. So strategic Dama 10 there.
And Hanlei's getting the brunt of this early on, but it is still early days here. It's a 1 Mondora now.
Bianca, the dealer, has a really nice hand to start out with. No open-endeds right now, but all the floaters could possibly link up to possible open-endeds with a 3, 5, 6, 7 shape there in the characters. Just drawing the 4 gives her a 3-sided weight. And the 4 dot, oh, there's open-ended.
I imagine, yeah.
Yeah, this
Eight.
discarding the 8 dot is the most efficient choice there.
Ooh, now you got.
Yeah, it switches out the floating 4 dot for a double. I like to call it double gut shot. It's a Ryankan shape,
Yeah,
which is
Ryankan.
basically as good as open ended until you get to Tenpai. And then it's not quite as good as open ended.
Yeah.
But easy to set a Suji trap. James also has a double gut shot. Oh, that's Tenpai for the dealer. Decides not to reach. Discards from the outside so that for the potential shift to an open-ended probably if she draws the 6 bamboo. And decides to not take Tenpai, to give up on the Tenpai. The 2, 3, 4, 5 shape in the characters has a lot of potential to upgrade again to another open-ended.
Yeah, very much so.
Not sure, but I don't know. If that was the goal, I might have gone with the 3 bamboo instead for this 6, exactly for that draw. But I think she was trying to play it a little bit safe. Sometimes though, as dealer, you don't have to play it quite that safe. Also, James' hand is shaping up. He also had that double gut shot that we were talking about, and the 6 dot filled in. So now it's just 1 away, waiting to fill in that gut shot in the bamboos, the 1-3 shape, but deals into the north seat, Hanley.
And
He
Hanley's
just
going to get
Dragon.
nice recovery there.
Yeah, not a
And,
very expensive hand, but moves the dealer to James. Which, wow, look at this hand.
wow.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say it's not Uncle, it's a pair, but we're just gonna go ahead and reload the page real quick. James will be our dealer, Garth in the south seat, Hanley across the table in the west seat, and Bianca will be in the north seat. And James starts out here with a pair of Dora and also a couple more pairs in the hand. Probably hoping to change the 4-character pair into something open-ended or to triple up the Dora to wait for the 2-5 bamboo open-ended. Garth also has 2 Dora in his hand already. And really similar shapes actually, an extra pair.
As Tenpai for Bianca on the 4-7 pin for just Haku.
Yeah, if Garth gets a 2 dot, then I could definitely see him discard. Oh, he's gonna discard this. There's no way he stops
Yeah.
with 2 Dora and just 1,000 points.
But that is important as that's going to drop him below 30K. So.
In the armor rules, anybody above 30K is gonna have a positive or at least 0 score, and anybody below 30K will have a negative score at the end of the game.
So 30,000 points is very important. Very important point amount to monitor. But we've gotten to the halfway point of this game with an 8-mon Dora. And Garth has already called for Green Dragon, so Yaku is secured.
Yeah, still 2 away. And decides to hang on to that Dora. And normally probably the 8 character, the 8-mon discard would be the most efficient.
Never mind that, we have a Ricci across the way. Some inch on 369 for Ricci Pinfu. Dora 1.
That's gonna scare off Hanley. Basically, I think it's decided to fold, dropping the edge of the open-ended.
Let me tell you, there's no threes. All the sixes are out. There's only 2 9s left in the wall, so kind of a little bit of bad luck here.
Yeah,
summon.
they're not going to be used
No.
by Hanli. Oh, wait, Hanli ran out of safe tiles and went with the edge tile wait. Or the edge tile discard, I'm sorry. Which deals in. That will bring us into the south round with Hanli as dealer. Nice 1, 2, 3 open-endeds in the hand. Of course, one of them is part of a pair, so not sure if he's gonna be able to use that as a pair, or it might end up being a triple or an odd yum, and fills in to get a 3-sided weight right off the bat. Not enough blocks completed though, so it's gonna have to try and make something with those the 2-4 dot in there.
And we do see, I think, 4 pairs for Garth on there. So he might be working on a Chi Toy or a Toy Toy, depending on what he draws.
It looks like he's gonna hedge a Tanyo hand, and I imagine he'll probably try and go for sequences because of the 3-4-5 dot shape. Like you said, it will depend on what he draws. But there goes the pair. Yeah, I think he feels like he would
We only
rather
have a Tenpai and a Roan. Man, I
He
was
just
just
did
about to
not
say,
want us to finish talking about any hands.
maybe we just need to speed up with who we talk about. But anyway, that was a pair of Dora for Hanlei. Start out this South 2.
Yeah, Hanley dealt into Bianca again. And Bianca, actually, Hanley's hand looks like it could be a really nice flush, except for he has a pair of Doras, so probably not going to go for the flush. Of course, 2 Doras worth just as much as a called flush hand. The dealer, Bianca, has 3 pairs in the hand, but also probably would be more efficient as a sequence hand if she can fill in some of those like gut shots and middle weights. James' hand is just 1 away? Is this 1 away? With like a possible full straight, except for the weights are not great for the full straight. And instead, we'll probably take this open-ended and get rid of maybe the 1 dot. Nope, did not take the open-ended. Decides he really wants to go for the full straight.
I mean, you want the 5-pin more than 3-pin because
Each.
I think
There it is. Got the 5-pin, just like you said. Because 3-pin is a good tile?
Yeah, and also Armel has Akanashi, so just a little less emphasis on the 5-pin than 3-pin. But no,
The Garth
it is.
across the way is running out of safe tiles. Just discarded his last really super safe tile. Be interesting to see. It's first place against second place in the league here. They only have a 500-point difference in the total scores. I mean, they really don't have to cannibalize each other since 5 people will move up, but... another full straight in the dots. Tenpai, both waiting for the 3 dot. And first place and second place in the league, both waiting for the... both with the same Yaku and waiting for the same tile.
Same weight. Wow. Same Yaku, same weight.
There's just 1 left in the wall. It comes out from Hanley. They both roll.
This is going to be expensive.
Yeah, Garth couldn't pull the trigger and reach the hand, so he only gets 2,600. But it still stays ahead of James for this game. And we are Lasumai, just 1 hand before the last hand. So James will be dealer.
starting out with a pretty nice hand, a bunch of honors, but his number tiles seem to be really good.
Yeah, there's just not enough of them. It still has 4 floating tiles, 3 honors, and 1 edge tile. Garth's hand is actually looking a little better, although it looks a lot like the last hand with a potential full straight in the dots. Waiting
It
for
looks
the
like he's
3
going
dot.
that way. Looking that way again. Oh, oh,
And there it is, Tenpai waiting for the 3
Reach.
dot.
oh
And
gosh.
reaches this time with the 4 dot wall, and he has all those blockers in his hand, so figures this is going to be a pretty good wait. And of course, it's floating in James's hand, but I don't think James is a bit too solid to discard that 3 dot unless
Ever get
he
the
has
feeling it's
something
Dejan?
really.
Oh,
And that will stick to Bianca's 2 dot. So I think even if she wasn't folding, the 3 dot would not come out yet, at least.
although it might come out for James here.
Yeah, I think not quite yet. He'll probably start with maybe the red dragon before the 3 dot at least. But it just goes with the Suji, 7 character discard. Okay, that 2 character tripling up is really incentive to push with James's hand if he tempais.
There was a con opportunity, but James decides, no, not gonna do that.
Yeah, I
Finds
can't
a one
imagine
pin,
any.
so I think that 3's a little bit more secure now.
Yeah, definitely.
Sumo.
And this guy's oh, but Garth draws it himself.
Oh boy.
That she brought the 3 dot into Garth's hand, and that will be a Mangan. He is just killing James this session, it seems, because James was a lot further ahead. He had like 180 something going into this session, I believe. And Garth was way behind. Garth was not even in the top 5, and now he's going. It looks like he's going to take first place away with this game. Last hand of the game, and Garth is the dealer.
And Pure Straight strikes again.
I'm sorry, you wanted to say that, and I totally made you wait. But you might have a chance to say it again with the shapes and the characters. Garth is just loving that shape today.
Boy, Garth is playing on the straight and narrow. This game.
Reach.
Yeah, it looked like
But
he was just
anyway,
going
never
full
mind that.
efficiency.
We have a reach on
Yeah,
the
nice.
Intotsu pair. This
Yeah, the
is always
Entotsu
funny.
chimney weight. I mean, I think Garth
Sumo.
doesn't have any reason to
2-5
push
or
it on.
2-so finds it. Ichi Patsu Sumo Tanyo Nora.
But that's enough for a Mangan.
And we'll save
Still in
Hanley
last place, but yeah, brings him
some
back.
points, but
Looks like Hanley's having a really rough season. And that
that's
would put
gonna
Garth in first place overall.
yeah. So to wrap up this game, Bianca with a plus 36.3, Garth with a plus 11, James with a minus 15, and Hanley with a minus 31.8. And there's a look at your standings there.
I was so excited after my last session because I was like, yes, I'm finally beating Garth. And Garth only performs this well when I'm doing better than him. Like, if we're not in the same league and I'm not doing better than him, he will not get this many points. Ever.
Home.
Maybe you felt incentivized, but here we go straight into the last game of this table. And we already have a call.
First hand. Oh yeah, last game of this. Sorry. I was thinking last hand, but it's the first hand. The last game. You're totally right. Keep going.
So Garth has already called West. He has a Anko of the Easts, so he already has double East, and has no Dora at the current moment, but has something to accept Dora if he gets it. 5 pin.
Time we have James in the south seat and Bianca across the table from Garth, our first dealer. So that would mean Hanley is in the north seat. Alright, got my cheat
James.
sheet all made.
Reach.
Oh, and there's a reach. Throws out Dora, says, don't need 2 of these. It's waiting on the 2-mon Conchan for just reach 1 Dora.
Garth's gonna have to show some discipline. He has no reason to push this hand hard, but a lot of instances where he forgets how many points he doesn't need and deals in a lot of these situations.
So yeah, there's 2-mons left in the wall.
Hmm?
And what a hand this could have been for Garth if he would have kept on to his wins. Oh no! Would have been Tenpai for So Sushi. Oh man.
We have the saying in Japanese is kireba kuru. So if you discard it, it will come.
Trust me, I have thrown all 4 multiple times.
And Garth does Tenpai, however, waiting for the 3-character, 4-character.
Long.
And that's gonna be dropped because that's a reach drop, and James is gonna get the bonk this time round.
So Garth will have another turn at dealer and another chance to widen his lead against me in the league. Jerk. He feels in the middleweight. I think he'll end up going for a Tanyao here. He'll probably want to call this hand with the 2 Dora there. So I need 2 dot or 4 dot. He'll probably pull. Just no matter what he calls, all the weights are gonna be kind of rough.
Okay, that's now we can add
Home.
Ipeco to the mix.
Yeah, I think he'll still call. Probably won't end up getting the Ipeco, but it's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, so what he does is he discards the middleweight, the Kanchan side here, so that he has more options to pawn. And now he has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of dots, and also 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of bamboos are all gonna be Tenpai tiles for him. Massive, massive flexibility here. James fills in a nice gut shot and decides to discard the west pair. He had 2 pairs, so he didn't need the extra one, and decides to go for some sort of Pinfu hand instead, but Garth will Tenpai, waiting for the 3 dot, and does not reach. Just is going to try and take this silent Mongon hand away from somebody.
Yeah, his Tanyao Ipeco door 2.
Long.
Oh, and there it goes.
Hanley is just having a rough, not just a rough day, but a whole entire rough season. He's just, I mean, there was no way that you could read Garth's weight just now. You just had to, it was so early and so sneaky, you just had to play efficiently. It's just, yeah, sometimes there's just nothing you can do, and it feels like everything's working against you.
Bianca just threw out Dora, though. The 9-pin is Dora.
Yeah, I think Bianca trying to go for max efficiency, just anything you can do to try and win and take this dealer turn away from Garth.
Mhm.
リーチ
I don't know if that was full
But
efficiency, though.
But Hanlei's gonna take a reach here, waiting on the 3-pin.
Yeah, 3-pin
For
has
this.
been the good tile today, so...
Mm-hmm.
So
Playing the table
Hanley
meta.
and Garth's dealer turn. Garth's gonna be forced to fold this hand right here.
I wonder if he recognizes what the table meta is. 3-pin's the best tile so far.
Kind of Tenpai again, isn't he? No, the thing is, if Garth had started with the south discard instead of the
リー
9
チ
character, he would have
And
re-Tempai'd, but...
there's a chase
And
for
he does re-Tempai with the open, at the 3-10,
4-5.
double 3-10 open-ended. Yeah, Bianca's waiting for the 4-5. Garth's waiting, oh, he got rid of it, sorry. Could have re-Tempai'd.
So that's gonna be reach 10 now.
I really like these like crazy weird weights. The 4-5 with the 6 blockers as well. The three blockers of the 6.
ポン
And I think Garth might be a victim of this.
つも
But never mind. Bianca finds her tile and adds
Another
an Ura
Mongon
to it.
hand.
Meaningful
wants-
Ura for Bianca.
And Garth's turn a dealer and trying to take another first place away.
And we have pretty nice shapes for James here to start off. His first dealership here in East 2.
Yeah, Bianca, who just won the hand, is plus 32 overall right now. Still has plenty of time with 2 more sessions after this to move up into the promotion zone.
Hmm.
Especially if she wins this game.
Lots of ways that James can shape this hand to find Tenpai.
Yeah, it's kind of bordering a 6 block hand, depending on how you count the 4 bamboo. Probably discard that to bring it down to... Okay, discards a 7 to bring it down to 5 blocks, but now we have
Reach.
the extra 4 bamboo in the hand, which is not good against a reach like this.
Oh, this could spell trouble. That is a reach for just east.
Wow, and pushes with the 7 bamboo. I thought maybe he might go for the 8 character pair drop, but is not flinching
Reach
with his
east.
dealer turn.
He's gonna test it and finds nothing.
Bianca's hand is interesting. It looks like it should be Tenpai somehow, but it's actually still a couple away. I think that's still 2 away. It looks like everything is all connected, but it is deceivingly not. Garth is totally out of the hand.
Yeah, Garth is getting out now.
So just waiting to see if the last 3-6 bamboos show up for Hanley.
James still trying to fight.
Sumo.
Just trying to find
I
something,
need
but never mind.
sumos! And we'll get the 40 fu, so it's 1300, 2600.
When we go to East 3, where we have a White Dragon Dora.
Bianca has one of them in her hand, but nothing is connected really. There's two pairs with like gut shots and one just got one open-ended, but this is going to be a really tough hand to win for the dealer.
What do you think the prospects of a Chanta hand with this setup?
I think it's probably way too far away. And yeah, based on the draws also. Yeah, so Hanley started with the White Dragon. Dora discarded and everybody just kind of copied him, so now nobody has to worry about the Dora.
Unless somebody wants to create some content.
We do like some content on this stream. The best looking hand so far is maybe I guess James and Garth are about even with their speed.
I
Garth
think
is holding on to that one character in case he can pull off a
Hanley
Sanchoku, I guess.
is Ishanten.
Yeah, it's just the shapes in Hanlei's hand that I don't really. I guess. I mean, the pairs are really hard to triple up, and so he's left with a gut shot no matter what fills in. So although it's one away, it's one away Ishanten, it feels really slow. On the other hand, James's hand on the left here.
It's
Now
gonna solidify
no
it.
one away, yeah. Was one away with like one poor shape, but so much like potential to upgrade like this three bamboo. And can't really call because of the 6-9 dot weight, but and the shapes are just so much better than Hanlei's hand. Bianca just keeps getting like,
リーチ
is it pairs or is it gonna be sequences? Yeah, her hand
Gee.
is just so rough.
There is a reach, and there's a call to get into Tenpai for Hanley on the 4 pin for just Tanya.
Yeah, just Tanya. James's reach also is at right now. It's really just reach. The 6 dot will make it Tanya and double sequence or Ipeco. But the 9 dot would just be reach only. Hanley had a chance to switch to open-ended, but would be 30-10 and decides to stick with the Shabo weight. And that will bring Bianca's hand to one away from ready, but would have to discard the 9 dot to get Tenpai probably. I don't.
Is
The 3
4
bamboo.
gonna
Yeah.
come out? No.
Dong.
Yeah, Garth is
There's the
out
9,
of
but
it. Hanley couldn't use the 9 dot in his hand. Had no choice. He had either had to discard it or fold, and ends up dealing in again. So much unluckiness for Hanley today. But he will have his turn at dealer in the last hand of the East round.
yes, East 4 with the 2 dot.
Home.
Speaking of games to play on your phone, 2 dots.
I don't know that game.
It's addicting.
Oh, is
Just
that the
have
one
to
where you have to like connect the colors? Like,
dots, colored dots. Yes.
okay, and they can't like cross each other or something.
Well, you make a bunch of squares, like squares to power function.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that it sounds like a game that smart people are really good at, and I
Home.
always just get frustrated.
We already have 2 calls from James, looking to make a really fast. Looks like to be Toy Toy.
Looking to be really fast, but still 2 away from ready, even after 2 calls. So
Gee.
potentially could get a 4 called
Home.
hand. The rules of Mahjong, of course, you can call a hand 4 times.
Mm. You know, in Chinese mahjong, that's worth 6 points, I do believe,
Oh
for
wow,
having
calling totally
a
the opposite of Japanese
full,
Mahjong.
fully melded hand is worth 6 points, but you need a minimum of 8, so it's
Ah,
not worth
okay.
it's not worth that much. But yeah, Chinese mahjong is way more offensive, offensive, offensive style play. So calling is uh, it's
That's a
actually
really
worth way.
interesting sentence the first time you said
It's, I tried to
it.
phrase it in a way that anyway.
Yeah.
We do have Tenpai. It's not for Toy Toy, but it's just for East.
Yeah, East only here in the last hand of the East round, waiting for a really
Home.
kind of a really rough wait, except for that all the one BAMs are being used, so there are some blockers there.
And that
Uh,
is Tenpai for Bianca waiting on South
Gee.
4-7 for just Chun. Chun know me.
yeah, really interesting
Home.
hand. Oh, there's another 3 BAM blocker, and he pawns it. Now James is waiting for the 1 BAM and the 7 character. Of course, both of the 1 BAMs are on the board, so he's not going to be able to win off of that tile.
And the
Both of the
7s
7
are
characters.
locked away. So this is
Yeah.
entirely dead weight.
I think the 2 BAM was actually the better weight. There were still 2 in the wall. 3 in the wall, actually. And you could see basically all of the 3 bamboos. Or 3 of them at least. So with the blockers, I think that was actually kind of the stronger weight.
Don't.
He
But
sensed
it's
the
really
danger.
tough.
He does not. This is Tanya
Mm.
door 3 from Garth. It's going to get James there again.
Yeah, James having a rough time too. He was in first place and maybe has met his match with Garth here. Is
We
kind of
head to the South
dominating the
round
league.
now with this 8 so Dora that I believe Garth had first draw. So able to fill in that real quick.
Home.
Yeah,
This could
filled
be
in the middleweight gut shot. So like the worst, not the worst, but one of the
Home.
worst weights you can have with the Dora, and he just fills it in right away to make the rest of the hand easier for himself.
Oh, and now this is going to be a really quick Honitsu from James. Says, I want those points back right now.
Yeah, I can still pawn the Tour of the Forts for an open-ended 6-9 weight in the dots. Keeps
It's
the
not going to.
1 for a potential sideway, the 3 dots, so it makes his hand a little bit more flexible, discarding the east.
Each.
Reach from
But
Garth, waiting for the
Gee.
5-8 character, and just try. It's the battle of Garth and James once again.
but here's a really dangerous tile, but it's going to fit nicely within.
Don't.
There it is.
But
He gets the points back from Garth, but not very much because both of the wins were the otakase, non-value tiles for James.
it is Honitsu no Mi for James, and it's his dealership in South 2.
Yeah, but really important move there to end Garth's dealership. You don't want the first place player to get more points ahead.
7 Pandora. They're all stuck in the wall.
I'm kind of interested to see what James will do with this hand. It's really far away. It's really poor shapes.
Well, there's an improvement.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go for a flush again.
You thinking full or half?
I mean, depends on, I guess, if any of the honors pair up. They're all value tiles for him, so he would get more points than last time, even with a half flush. But Bianca's hand is really looking nice. Probably will end up getting rid of that 9 character unless the 8 fills in. And James gets more characters. I think he's gonna commit to the flush now. Yes.
Oh,
the
yeah.
8 bam discard.
He's thinking the glass. He's thinking the glass is glass is full, not just half full, but full.
Chi.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those honors are already out on the board, so it's less likely they'll pair up. It may end up being a full flush, but Garth is kind of probably noticing by now that James doesn't have any characters in his discard.
Home.
So we'll see if there's a pawn.
There's a pawn. Now we're gonna start ejecting all of these floaters.
Dora,
There's a,
goodbye. Not cheated by Bianca. I think Bianca you could maybe argue with Cheater getting rid of the 9 character, but uh, everything, the ending shapes would just be so bad.
and it's Tenpai from Garth being sneaky over there.
I'm waiting for the 5/8 character. Of course, it's pawned. And
King
2 more in
Funomi.
James's hand that's not going to come out. James is 1 away, but needs another 8 character in order to complete
Gee.
this 1 away. And now Tenpai waiting for the last 8 character. So he's got the same weight as Garth, and if he draws another 5, he will change. I believe he'll change the weight.
I think
Yum.
he's Ishan.
Garth deals into Bianca. King Dora. That was so quick, she just Tenpai'd. We didn't even have a chance to address it yet. And she just kills both of their dreams. Well, I guess still in first place, but she is making a run to take first place away from Garth.
Yes, important decisions to make regarding this hand. With a 6 Pandora, Bianca has one. How is she going to approach
Home.
fixing some of these troublesome shapes she's got?
Garth looks like he's going for the half flush. Pawn the white dragon. He's not going for the half flush for points. It looks mostly for speed and for just a hand he can call easily. Although he's not hiding the flush in his discard at all, so it'll probably be that Hanley won't get rid of very many bamboos for him.
You think he's going to add potential full straight in there?
I mean, I don't think he's going to aim for it. It would really just be if it happens. He has no reason to like aim for those extra points at this point in time. His best bet is to try and end
Yeet.
Bianca's turn since she's the biggest threat to take away his first place.
Well, somebody who's wanting to end this dealership is Hanley. Is going to reach on the 7-so penchant.
Yeah,
For
just
just
reach
for-
Dora.
For just reach Dora, yes.
Yeah, it's rough because there was a potential Sanshoku with mixed sequences in his hand, but if he wants to use the Dora, then he can't wait for the 9 dot. And it would take 2 draws to change to a 6-7-8 instead of 7-8-9, so he decides to just slam it.
This
Bianca fills in that gut shot weight, the middle weight, 7-8-9. Bamboo is just 1 away
James
from
is
ready. Or 2 away from ready.
James is 7, so is not quite secure in this hand. I think if he gets another good tile, I think it's gonna go.
Yeah, that's true. He has proven that he's not afraid to discard the 7 bam even when it's dangerous against a reach. So we might see it. Trying to think what tiles would make him discard it.
That's not one of them.
No, it's pretty much stuck in his hand.
Yeah, that's gonna secure the 7 stows.
That's rough. He doesn't really have any super safe tiles. Goes with a sort of Suji.
Dora indicator. Safe. Even though we just got done with baseball season. This could be an improvement.
Bianca was at this point where she had to decide whether to keep going or give up, and she gives up.
Says, I think this is going to be a comfortable second.
We still have one more hand left, and Garth looks like he's not going to get to Tenpai either. So they're going to go into the last round with the same point difference as they have now. And there's a reach stick on the table.
Yeah. But this is a chance to maybe try and push it one last tile, maybe. See if we can't get to Tenpai in the last draw, potentially. Force another go at it. Does not find it.
Does not find it and draws a safe south, so we'll end in a draw. Hanley is the only Tenpai player, and that means we'll go into the last hand with Hanley's dealership.
Yeah, all last, but it's only the beginning.
So only 4,400 point difference between Garth and Bianca in second place. With a reach stick on the table, that brings it down to 3,400.
Immediately calls for the Hatsu. Yaku secure. Now looking for an east and try and build up this hand's value. It's got Dora also, so potentially looking at 3 Han here for Han Lei.
I think Bianca would just have to draw maybe 700, 1,300 to take over first place from Garth. But not sure. Her hand is so slow. I don't think it's very realistic in this case. So in her case, she kind of wants Hanley to win just one hand as dealer, as long as it's not from her. With if he can get another East, he can get a 2,900 point hand.
Interesting draw here for Garth is gonna be John.
C.
There's another call.
Yeah, for Hanley into 1 away. Still hoping to triple up that East somehow. Maybe now. Maybe. No, I don't know if James is ever gonna get rid of that East. Looks like James is kind of just folding. Doesn't want to deal into Hanley and lose the 3rd place. And it's probably assuming that Hanley's already Tenpai. With 2 calls there, even though James was the one who called twice and was still 2 away a couple of hands ago.
Reach.
And there's a reach.
Bianca reaches! Reach! Dora, if she draws it, she will take first place away from Garth.
The old Menten. Will it come out?
Waiting for the 3/6 character. Of course, even if she wins on a discard, any Uradora will also give her first place from Garth. And any direct hit from
It's
Garth
gonna
will
be
also
enough.
give her first place. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they end in, even if she's the only player, Tenpai won't be enough. But
There's the
now,
last East. And
yeah,
now
James got
Hanley
the
has
tile he was looking for. Or sorry, Hanley. Thank you.
now has a chance to extend his dealership. Has to, of course, avoid giving the wrong tile away.
相撲
He draws it.
Finds it. Finds life. Comes into third. And now maybe looking for more here.
Yeah, potential half flush here because all of the tiles in the other suits are really like floating. Just not quite enough. Oh, that will help. Not quite enough
That's
tiles for the half flush yet, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more, and I think you can just kind of commit to it. Open ended in another.
That's going to be too nice of a tile to give up.
Yeah, in this case, you really have to prioritize speed over score in the dealership. But
And
has
that's
already taken away third place
really
from
nice
James.
tile too. Some really nice tiles for Hanley. Kind of the momentum you need to get back into, hopefully scrapping some sort of a result after what was a beatdown in this first game that we saw.
And Bianca is one away from ready. She's in a much more difficult position trying to take first place than she was in the last hand, since she gave up one reach stick and there's no reach sticks on the table now.
Also, there's an E2 chance for Hanley if he finds either 2 or the Formon.
I think we have 5,400 point difference from between first and second on the table.
It's not going to call that open. So hoping to find it itself. And there's a Formon being drawn by Garth. So those tiles are quickly evaporating.
Yeah, it's tough in Hanley's position because calling the 2 character means that you can only win on the 4 character. That's the only way you would have a Yaku. And I don't know,
See.
Bianca's hand looks kind of like it's getting close to ready. So
Now there's Tenpai waiting on Stanzo for Chun-chan Nomi.
and it's
With
Junchan
one
and Sanshoku, I think. And
yeah,
Dora.
Jun-chan, Sanshoku,
Mangan.
and Dora.
So that'd be a
Oh boy.
manga in hand. It'd be enough to take back third place.
ドン
And there it is.
From Bianca, what a disaster! She was trying to go for first place, ends up with a
And
negative second place.
that's going to put Garth as the only one above 30K. He's going to take a monster 32.3.
That's gonna bring James way down. Not way down, but down below Jen.
Yeah, who is this Jen? Who's this Jen character? I don't recognize that.
I have every confidence that James, as long as he's not in the same table as Garth, will come back ahead of me in the next session.
But to recap all the other scores, Bianca's going to take a minus 1.7, James is going to take a minus 8.3, and Hanley is going to take the minus 22.
Thanks for the raid, Mikolote-san. Welcome, welcome. Man, what a crazy table. The first and second place players battling it out, and Garth just annihilated James. Basically switched places. Or switched scores. Garth was a little bit ahead of me. I think it was like 140 going into the first game. And yeah, now he'll take the 180 spot away from James.
Well,
James still over 100, so still comfortably in the promotion zone.
JPML fully in control of B1.
But our team is not showing up on the standings for some reason. I think because, we were listed as a Japanese professional mahjong league, and it's actually the Japan Professional Mahjong League, so I asked to get it changed, and after it was changed, we disappeared from the club standings.
Oh no.
The one time that we're actually doing well. Because usually one of us is really negative and one of us is really positive, so we're always around 0. So the one time that we're both super positive, we've disappeared from the club standings.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, I think I'm not going to be able to do too many more games today, but if any. But I wanted to let you guys know that we will be doing Yukon Fuji professional commentary on Thursday and Friday this week, and Thursday and Friday next week. And also the Friday games this week will feature the WRC teams group. So I will be playing on the broadcast table, as well as my teammates Rika and Mio, Rika from China and Mio from South Korea.
Oh.
So it should be really fun to watch. I've been working really hard and studying a lot, so I'm hoping that it won't be. I'm hoping that I can not mess up too much on the broadcast table.
That is
But
going to be exciting watch to have.
yeah, it's on
Jen
the youtube.com/worldreach.
in the Fuji Cup.
Yeah, it's we've been doing professional commentary for all season since July. So basically, we're adding English commentary for all the pro matches that are broadcast for the Yukon Fuji. And this is it's going to be the halfway point. So we're going to start rebroadcasting teams and groups next week.
Oh boy.
So each group gets to be broadcast twice. And it's really fun. There's a lot of new pros as well as veterans, and I think there's 4 or 5 M leaguers in the Yukon Fuji. So there's always a lot of excitement, and we have a really, really strong commentary team as well. Nathaniel and Korak, and also Cairo from the UK, and Tips and Tricks, of course, as well as Gemma and Dave and myself. So
I'm working
yeah,
my
I
way up
recommend.
there. Not at that level yet.
No, you're great. I think we'll be expanding the team if we get a lot of viewership and subscriptions to the channel and stuff, then we'll have more opportunities to expand the team. So yeah, 100%. 10 out of 10 recommend. That's what the young people say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great stuff, and it's really been inspired by these ARML, these American Reach Mahjong League broadcasts. So I'm really grateful that the team has been so great in promoting and training and practicing on this channel. And it's really awesome to have a league with American players that we can watch on a regular basis. And so, and I'm really glad that, this is where basically I learned to commentate as well, because so many people better than me, especially Nathaniel and Korag. I still am learning from them on a regular basis. They're really great commentary mentors.
Yeah.
Okay, I
And I
think
think we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna swap some things around, and we'll be right back.
All right, thanks so much, Jen, for the commentary. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be swapping things around as we move into C1. It's going to be an interesting matchup between a bunch of people that are new to the league. Vander, Merlin, Laura, and Cliff, I believe, are all brand new entrants into the league. And in the place of Jen, Korax hopping in. How's it going?
Pretty good. You can see here we're getting pretty late here. It's South 3. We have 41,300 first place. Looks to be Merlin. And across the way is Vander, very close second at 39,000. On the left, we have Laura sitting at 27.4, looking for a way to get back in, but mainly get to 30,000. And either here is Cliff, who is, well, Cliff. It's always nice when the names match up. You don't have to think too hard.
Yeah, and we have a Tuso Dora. We have a call from, I think it's,
That's
yeah,
Merlin on the
Merlin.
right.
Yeah,
So we see
yeah.
Tanya Dora 1, lots of routes here. But the question is, can you get that 3-so? Very important tile, of course, if you can pair up the 2-so, you'd like the 2 Dora, but at the same time, the hand's still kind of awkward.
Yeah, it has a bunch of funky shapes, but I'm sure
1
And
those are good.
across those looking pretty good. That is Tenpai, Ricci, Pinfu. This would be enough to overtake first place going into South 3, waiting on 4-so, 7-so. We can see 3 4s and 2 7s, so 3 outs left.
Speaking of pairing up the Dora,
Now, the problem here is you have such a huge incentive to hold the Dora, so if you end up pushing this, you're probably throwing the 4-so and dealing in here.
besides not yet.
This is a really tough position for Cliff because you're just so far away from anything. Your dealer, you're in last place, you need to try and salvage something. But at the same time, oh, there's a Dora pulled and there's the dealer. That's what I said would happen was you use that Dora, it's going to happen eventually. Ricci, Pinfu, no Aura, but a direct hit, and you see the swap there between Vander and Merlin, as Vander is now in first place, but Merlin is dealer here at all last.
I think Laura, I think runs the social media channels for the American Ricci Association. I think.
Well, there has been some realignment and rerunning of positions inside Ara. Is one of the newer people of the community. And of course, you can see in the first season in Armal, sitting in third at 27.4 across the way. But look at Deal with a great hand here. Anko of the South, kind of an awkward double Kanchan run with the extended Sun Menchan 3, 5, 7, 9 pin, but the rest of the hand's really good. On the right, we see a whole bunch of Manzu tiles. Could go Hon into, could just go regular, could get an Ipeiko. Although that 3 is definitely going to move it towards a Honitsu, but cuts the 8 immediately. That's actually a really weird cut. Just says, I want Chitoi. And it's actually 1 away from Chitoitsu there. It may be the fastest way. It passes the 9. Across the way, that just feels like a Tanya. The 1 pin is Dora, but it doesn't really help. You can call this, but it doesn't get you to 30k, so we'll pass. And on the left, we have an Ishanten there as well. But the question is, can you ever use that second Dora? I see the Chi of the 1 by the dealer. Now Ishanten needs 6 pin, 8 pin. And on the other side, needs 3 6-mon.
Wow, I feel like I need a breath after all that. well elegantly said. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I see the 5-so on the left. It gives an option of the Ryoncon if you cut, say, the 3-mon. You also really want to use the Dora, but at the same time, 2 4-pinner. I might just cut the Dora here. We're going to see the 6. That should be called. Which weight? Probably the 8, and that will be the choice here. This is now just the south wind for the dealer here. Would be extra Fu on Sumo on the 8. But 100 regardless, there's the 8, and that may just come right out. It does, and it's going to get first place. But since we don't have a Gariyame on, you don't get to lock up that first. You have to sit here and play another hand as dealer. And Merlin has a pretty decent hand here. Could just be a Tanyao. Reasonable shape 5-so would really help. On the right, pretty good shape in Manzu, possible 6-7 negative 79 Sonshiku across the way. 79 Sonshiku looking pretty good there as well. Also has a floating west if there's a Yakuhai pair up. And on the left, probably the worst of the hands, but a few pairs here and decent floaters all over the place.
Well, these Dora aren't hidden anymore, as 2 get discarded right away.
Well, that's always the thing with Yakuhai Dora is you'll oftentimes be in a stalemate where no one's going to drop until someone else does. But if someone else gets rid of it quickly, everyone goes, "Oh, thank you," and immediately gets rid of theirs.
Yeah, that's always the existential question. Do I
Ooh,
hold on to this?
interesting cut there on the Tuso on the left. That is very inefficient. Seems to be just selling out on the Chitoitsu here. Okay, but rewarded with a 3. So the normal cut would have been 1 pin or 8 pin and would have been in the same place, but thinks the 1 may end up being good weight.
Could be setting up for maybe a fairly sophisticated trap. Who knows?
Well, it's not really a trap with the 5 as the first discard. It's a general rule. If you have an early 5, the 1, 4, and 6, 9 of that suit are really scary.
Chi.
Alright, see the 8 called by dealer cuts the 6. This is Ishanten for
Chi.
Tanya only. We see a Chi on the right. That is also going to be a Tanya only, but with the home boat would actually get a draw for first if hitting one of the other 2 people, and of course a win on a sumo or a direct hit.
Ooh.
Upgrade to Perfect Ishanten and a fill on the Kanchan there on the right. So 2 Ishanten. Well, 3 if you include the Chitoitsu on the left. Gonna go ahead and hold that 3 so at least for a bit to see if there's a Suanko type route. But past the 2 Mon, so probably not going Toy Toy. 3 pin to do anything. We'll go ahead and hold it, just connect to the 1 loosely, but the hand was going Chishoitsu anyway. There is also an Ipeiko. The problem is if you fill the Ipeiko, you're just getting a Chitoi Tenpai. And cutting that east earlier, if you were going for Chitoitsu, the problem was the first turn east dealer that Tenpai on 2-5, so. And it just held the east for a while.
Sumo.
Oh, there's a sumo. Never mind. That's just 1 Han, and we are not out of here yet.
No,
Merlin
no,
in
we're
first base,
not.
great starting hand. Can use the Forso Dora twice. Riichi Pinfu Tanyao Dora 2 looking like a reasonable possibility here. Possible 2, 3, 4 Sanj because some shifting. Also possible Ipeiko and Pinzu with, say, a 7-pin draw or 8-pin draw. On the right, few pairs, not much else. Really awkward to use. The floaters are good, but it's a long way off, especially compared to this dealer hand. Across the way, ugh. Kanchan, floater, 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 floater. Even when one of those floater is Dora, that's just not what you want to see. And on the left, we have possible Pinfu, maybe a Tanya in there as well. The 6-0 pair. 2, 3, 4 is decent. Okay, now you have the overlap on the Pinzu with the 2, 3, 5, 6. So 4-pin would really help there, but gonna have some loss of Ukeire unless you can connect elsewhere. Oh, speaking of, there it is. Now Ishanten for Riichi Pinfu.
And Merlin was like, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Well, for now, we'll see how it develops. And then comes a bit of a hesitation there by Vander, but it doesn't really make sense to call that, so it is passed. Amon doesn't really do anything. Go and hold. Oh, that is the perfect draw for Merlin. Now super
boy.
wide Ishan 10. Goes and cuts the 4 for now. I don't like that because if you pair up the 2-so or 3-so, you are already Tenpai. You just be on that awkward 5 draw, but that's always really easy to improve. We do see a 2-pin pair cut on the right. Doesn't go for the Shitoitsu. Kind of likes the extended pin Sozu shape here. Doesn't really like the 2-pin. And upgrades in air quotes to a Pencha. Not what you're looking for. And Katsuo, I actually don't know what Vander's doing now. Oh, doesn't matter.
Reach.
Dealer's Tenpai, 3-sided, Riichi Binfu Dora, possible Tanya, and Dora.
Nope.
There's a Patsu, that's Mongon.
Oh boy.
Doesn't need the aura, but all of a sudden this goes from Merlin sitting there in second place to not only in first, but in first by 26,000 and maybe the only person over 30K.
Yes. The all-important number, 30K. We do have a 6-mon Dora, and our dealer has one.
Yeah, dealer has 3 Kanchans they need to fill. Can get rid of those 2 floaters, but need 6-pin, 8-pin, and 5-mon. On the right with the South Onko, that is double Yakuhai. So you could go Honitsu. If you get a Dora, that's already 3 Han there. And that's really your goal, is to get to 30,000 and keep your second. Across the way, a few pairs. Maybe a distant 1-2-3 Sancho, but it's really awkward to use some of these tiles. Very dependent on what you draw. And you're not even thrilled to draw that 5, but it's better than the 8. We're going to cut the 1 so now. On the left, 6, 7, 8 Sanshiku is distant but possible. Richidora 1 isn't great, but when you're in that position, you just need to win something and make sure you're not paying out the minus 20.
There's Dora.
Dealer currently Ishanten. Ooh, interesting cut there with the 5. Doesn't really use the 6, but this does give alternate routes, say if you draw a north.
Very interesting.
Ooh, well, what about Rion Peiko? Cuts the Dora.
Could be a Brett special. Brett, one of our commentators of the past, has gone back into it again. Really loves Rian Peiko.
Now, that's the second 8. We know the third one's pretty locked up there on the left. Oh, that is a perfect fill. And we now have a shift towards Itsu, Honitsu, double south there on the right. Ugh. Well, you just cut one of the honors here. I would give up on the Honitsu, and yeah, that's going to be the play. If you're all 1-pin or 2-pin, it's Itsu double south, which is Mongon already. Ooh, this 4-mon's a really interesting draw. You can't, if you want super greed, you got 2-mon or 8-pin, and says, I want Suanko.
Oh boy. Strap yourselves in.
7's a bit of a miss. Not shouldn't really do anything. We'll just go ahead and switch the honors to make a difference. That is a very wide Ishunten across the way, now headless. Oh, there's the 2-pin. It is safe. You can't really call it. It's Tenpai, but you're not happy about it. Is that Tenpai? Yes, it is. It's Richi double south if you take it. Waiting on 4-7-pin.
Each.
That's going to be the play here.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tenpai across the way. Doratanki? Because you actually don't have a pair here. And we'll instead just cut the Tuso because it's safe. And that's a fill there on the left. That's also Tenpai. Everything you push here is going to be scary. But I think the normal cut here is
Each.
still the 5-pin Ricci.
Just waiting to see what.
There it is. I was waiting on 7-so, 6-pin, and 9-pin, but we know the 6-9 is completely dead. So he's waiting just on the 7-so.
Which
The
there's
4-7, on the other hand, the 4
one
is actually
tile of
pretty
that
good.
in the wall.
2 4s left. Is there? Oh, there's one of them. And the 7 is dead. So dealer still Ishunten wants that Suanko, of course. Won't get
It's
it
not-
here.
It's not gonna get Tenpai
Sumo.
for it.
Oh, there's the Sumo. Ricci Sumo Dora 1. We'll at least close the gap significantly. No Ura. But we'll shut this down. And after all that, Merlin going to be in first place here with a big 42.3. Goes on a rampage there in South 4. In second place could be Laura, escaping there with a minus 4.8 second. We saw Vander was just fighting there for first and ended up losing, especially that one Soe Patsu deal, and takes a minus 11.3. And Cliff in fourth place managed to get something there on the end, but minus 26.2 overall.
That is going to shake up standings a little bit as Merlin takes a huge jump, get to 6th. Cliff, Laura, and Merlin all right neck and neck. They still have another game to play.
You see Cliff and Laura right next to each other there at the 4 and 5 spot on the rankings here in C1B.
Merlin
Something
too.
we always say about these lower divisions especially is Well, the demotions may not be demotions. It'll depend on who ends up joining the league, how many hiatus withdrawals, etc. It's also on the promotion side, there are almost always a bunch of extras. You can, not always, but usually figure, even with 2 beta leagues, that at least the top 7 or so should end up getting a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, none of these are what you see on the screen are guaranteed promotion spots. And
Yes.
of course, it's worth remembering that there are double promotions now in the lower divisions in B3 and lower. That if you hit that plus 240, which is averaging 10 a game, you get to skip a division. But when I look at this list, what jumps out at me? Ziyang in first place with that 54.4 call rate.
Oh boy, and over 30% win rate as well.
Well, that's just it. Is if you're calling a lot, you either need to have a lot of wins or just superb defense, because it's hard to defend from open hands.
Mm. I think they're accomplishing that with the under 11% dealing as well.
Yeah, that's just it. If you can run your spread at 20% win minus deal in, you're going to do really, really well almost anywhere.
Yeah, that is certainly impressive. And next game, I think, of this table will start in a minute, I believe.
Yeah, of course we
Hold on.
talked about Cliff and Laura, but Merlin jumping up there into the 6th spot as well off that big win, jumping a bunch of people.
Hmm.
So we now have the 4, 5, and 6 in this game. Vander, unfortunately, taking a bit of a hit there, currently in 21st, but a long way to go.
Yes.
Should be less than a minute till the game, so maybe we swap over there.
Well, let's just see what the table arrangement is. Cliff's going to be our first dealer, and then Merlin, and then Laura, and then Vander's going to be our north seat. So this game will start any minute now.
And of course, as we always say, there's usually not just one game going on. In another game, we had a B1 division matchup where Zhenhao got first with 25.6, Sarah in second with 6.3, JT with a positive third at 1.2, and Andrew with a minus 34.1.
3 above, 1 below 30K. Been there before.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who's been in the league for a while has been on both sides of those.
And it should pop any second now.
Well, something else I was looking at on the overall stats, which is win rate is so important, and we see who's really struggling at this table. Overall, the fourth division's been Vander, and you look at that 18% win rate, and that'll do it. But we're off. Cliff here is first dealer. Not a great hand, maybe a 3 4 5 Sanjiku eventually. On the right, we have kind of standard Pinfu hand as a floating north Dora. 8-pin 8-mon would really help. Across the way, a bunch of Sozu tiles, but not really connecting to each other. A whole bunch of floating Yakuhai. Going to take a while for that hand to turn into anything. On the left, we have Mibi and Itsu in Sozu. Might even go Honich if you Hon the Chun. You can always cut the 8-4-6 in Pinzu. But we'll see if that's the plan. With the early 6-mon cut, that seems to have been the plan. But goes and cuts the west. It's 1 out. I might have held it. I don't think the 9 really does a lot there. See a 1-mon draw on the right, possibly Peiko. Getting a little closer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That is one route.
6 shows a nice fill there on the right. 1-mon's a bit of a miss. 4-mon, though, fits in nicely. We'll go ahead and cut the floating 8. Now you have a 3, 4, 5, 5, 8, 8, 9.
Home.
There's a Chun that will be pawned. There goes the 9-pin. Ooh, an interesting choice here for Cliff. There are Chitoitsu routes. There are normal hand routes. You can even really make an awkward play for Tanya. Just throws it back.
Just
And
says
speaking of things getting
no.
thrown back, there goes the Dora on the right. Now Ishanten for Richi Ipeco potentially. Oh, the backfire!
Oh no.
Tumon doesn't really help. You can't really slide to the Sanjiku. The Sanjiku slide you want is a 3-so draw. Then you have the 3-4-5 in excellent position for Cliff. Itmon doesn't even get you anything there, so it's going to be pass. The 6 symbol doesn't do much. The Chun is dead at this point. That's Tenpai. This is
1
Ipeco, I think.
No.
No, okay, so it was not Ipeco. It was, do you want the 1-4 weight or the 8-9 weight? The Tumon was cut earlier. That's what I had missed. Normally you just take it and sit here waiting on the 3-mon, but instead likes this 8-9 weight. And Dealer is in trouble. Because that 9 is going to come out almost certainly if this hand develops in any way.
Oh, not with that though.
Well, it is for a 10. You can get around it. Oh, there's an 8. Will be held for now as well. There's a 2-so. Allows the hand to advance, but still Ishunten.
There's a chi. But it's still Ishan.
Yeah, looking for a pair there on the left. Well, you just cut the 9, so it's perfectly safe here. Cuts the 8 instead. Might tempt Dealer to call for Tenpai. Would not be a Yaku here.
Yeah, anyway, you're looking at that. It's,
Oh, no! Makes a
goes the
call and
9.
tries to play for Tanya. Tries to win the hand. The problem is has to throw the 9 deals in. It is just 1 Han, though, so not too much damage.
And we're on to East 2, just like that. And 4-pin Dora.
Dealer has nicely Peiko shape with a 4-so, 6-pin, which is a floating Dora possibility, with the 4-pin being Dora on the right. We have the East pair and maybe a 3-4-5 Sanshogu. Across the way, we have a Haku pair and maybe a Chanta type hand. The 6-pin's a really awkward draw. You can see the long hesitation. Wanted to go Chanta, but now with a pair up, may just be playing it more directly. And Cliff on the left looking for that 1-2-3 Sanchu. Can't even call this, but it's going to cheapen the hand a lot. We'll go ahead and do so, though.
I don't know if that was a pitch for maybe a half-hearted Kokoshi attempt, but not when they pitch the 1-pin.
There's the south. That's not Yakuhai, so you can't really call it. Yeah, just selling out on the 1-2-3 Sanchoku.
I'm intrigued by the pass on the Haku there for Vander.
Well, it gets into an Onko here. And there's our 3-so on the left. There's now Ishunten.
Maybe he just doesn't want to be left with some horrible shapes. Maybe.
Well, Tenpai now, and that's going to be on the 2-mon for Sanshoku Dora 1. There is only one 2M left, but it may come out, especially if Vander ends up drawing the 3-mon.
You think Vander's playing for more over there?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but well, we'll see. If you con, the answer is looking for something.
Oh boy.
But cuts the 8-so. That's interesting, because that actually moves this hand way back. It's really hard to win anything with this hand now.
And there's another 2-mon off the table, so 2-mon is now completely held.
Well, something else we didn't talk about is that reveals 1-mon as the new Dora, so on the left that's now Sanjiku Dora 2. But the 2-mon is completely dead.
Is it going to be called now?
I feel you have to call that one. I do not like that pass at all. It's the last Haku. There's really no other route to this hand. Yeah, just maybe folding at this point. And that is Tenpai on the right. Can take the 3-6 Nobetan here. And there's the 6. Gonna just shut this down. East only.
And Laura's going to take just a nice low 1,000 point win. And says, hello, it's my dealership now.
Yes, is dealer here. Decent shapes here. Ichipin Fu Tanyao, probably the plan on the right. Bunch of pairs. Could also go regular hand. Has a Dora as well. My question is, do you... Well, now I think you just have to go Chitoy. It's Ishunten. Cuts the 3-pin. I might have gone with the 3-mon first because we don't even really want the 4. Regardless, it feels like it's Chitoitsu now. I would definitely keep... Oh, no, you can't because you cut it first turn. Unfortunate. Across the way, we have 1, 2, 3 Sanchuku's probably the best play, but it's just, I say this a lot, awkward shapes all over. Ooh, that form on there on the right's really interesting. You can just got the north, kind of go regular hand here. But if you aren't going to do that, I don't think you want to have been holding the 3-mon anyway. And on the left, we have pretty standard Ricci Pinfu, nothing fancy.
Yeah, still looking for that last tile, but it's just gonna see what works.
Fill there for dealer, now Ishunten for Ricci Pinfu. Loses out on the potential for Dora immediately, but of course can still accept it and upgrade to Dora and Tanyao. And, ooh, that is a very inefficient cut. The normal cut there would be the 4-mon, because then you can use the 3, but you also have potential 3-sided shape in Pinzu. And instead, just cut the 3-mon the next turn. It's decided these are the shapes. Not really going for the Ricci Nomi good weight, just not even accepting it as a possibility. They'll go ahead and
It's
take the
just
1
trying
pin
to.
in case the 2 fills in there, but even that doesn't get you any better than you were off before.
Now we have.
Oh, that 4 is so awkward.
Yeah, I think that moves you back a Sean 10, believe it or not.
No, it's the same. You just have this extra floating 4-pin that you don't really want to have to throw, but will have to throw. And we have Ricci on the left. This is just a 3-pin Kanchan for Ricci Nomi. Of course, we see 3 of them. That means there is 1 in the wall.
Still have a chance to sumo. And now this is where we're thinking.
You can just cut the safe 6. And the idea here is you can just reach you the 6-pin and you will not be Furitsen here if you connect with the 3-4 in Manzu. You can't even call this if you're really aggressive.
I think this might come to a draw. Still not. Spander's still not Tenpai for Chitoy.
No, Vander's been kind of walking around on this hand, not really approaching it with the aggression you might expect. But it's Chitoitsu. Chitoitsu is just a bad hand, especially without Dora. And that is the last draw. It is Hatsu, which is a miss. So yeah, it's going to be the one-player Tenpai. And Ricci Nomi, bad weight, is worth a net 2,000. You're not going to complain about that.
And we're on to the final hand of this East.
Yes, this is East 4, possible 6, 7, 8 Sanchiku looking pretty good here. On the right, a bunch of Pinzu, but unlikely to go Hone. So it's a floating South Dora, which is also the Yakuhai, since that's the South player. Across the way, you see a couple pairs in completed shape. That's one of those hands that's close in Shunten, but not really easy to finish. And on the left, maybe an Itsurata, especially that 3-so, with a 1, 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9. So getting close, also potential 3, 4, 5 Sanchiku. Ooh, interesting choice. You call the West and just brute force the Honetsu. Does not want to, and is rewarded with a 2-pin Anko on the next draw. Well, that's the last West. If you don't take it now, you can't really do anything. Now, this 5-mon cut hedges a couple options. You go Honitsu. You can also go Toy Toy, and we'll see if that's the decision. The 9-mon forces you to make the decision now before you're really ready for it. And we'll go ahead and take it and want the Honitsu here. Or the Toy Toy here, because you can always wait on the Dora itself.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they're gonna navigate to try and finish this hand.
I see the 8 pass, not going for the open Sanjiku, which would definitely cheapen the hand. You can't really call the 3 either. It is passed.
There's that tune's just getting more and more dead.
Well,
and,
there's only one of them left. In order to finish the Chewed, you're also going to have a cell. Now, that's actually a very scary tile to push there for Vander, but just throws the Dora anyway into the... what looks like Toy Toy. With the 5-mon cut, it really does look like Toy Toy, or just a Yakuhai hand. But now the South is 2 cuts, so it's not even that good. Cliff's kind of stuck here, but has at least a couple safe tiles.
as both Dora and Chune is relatively safe.
Now we have an Ishan 10 here for Dealer. Dealer Suanko Ishan 10.
Oh boy. And we have Funny Yaku, the Doko option.
And just sells out on it, cutting the 6 completely. Now, you should
Are we
not
gonna
con the
con-
7. No, you should never con that. You're giving up so much acceptance here. You can still draw the 5-8 so with this hand if you're not thrilled with it, but it's Ricci, possibly Peiko.
Okay. I wanted to hit the funny button.
Well, this is the problem with that lock-in, is you could be Tenpai now on that 6-7 where Sumo is Sananko, but instead still Ishan 10. Just held this 9-pin back as a safe tile to everyone. And a little bit of a punish here. And that 5-pin does allow you to shift down to the 1-3 Sanshoku, but doesn't take it.
And now we're getting into single digits of the tiles in the wall.
Yes, this is where if you get any Tenpai, you just call for it.
Chi.
That should be a Chi. That is Tenpai on the across. There is no Yaku here. Could have had that 1-3 Sanshoku, and that will not deal in because there is no Yaku. There's Tenpai on the right. Of course, the
It's
South
just
is dead, so it's 100% safe
Toy
regardless
Toy.
of what you draw. Yeah, Dealer Toy Tenpai. Oh, and there's the 7. Switch off the South. Huge play there by Cliff to know that the South is safe and not deal into that Toy Hote Dealer. That's a very disciplined, smart play. All right, well, Vander has a very good starting in here. Not too much value, but can accept a Dora. Possible Itsu routes in Pinzu. Maybe a 1-3 Sanjiku now, but having cut the 1, a bit of a backfire there. I think the South is the normal first cut, but have a lot more options if that were the case. On the right, whole bunch of Pinzu tiles. Can get Itsu with 5 and 9 pin. And speaking of, there's the 9. Now, actually, Ishan 10 for Ricci Itsu. Across the way, pretty good shapes there as well. Can accept a Dora. And on the left, we have a Haku pair and decent shapes, especially in Sozo with a 2, 3, 5, 7, 9.
And now we have even a Dora acceptance into this in this Itsu as well.
We have a West pair up across the way for Merlin. Can play for Itsu, can play for Shaw, or can play for both.
Or just say, I'll have everything and have Honitsu in there as well.
Well, there's our Haku, there's our Pawn, and when they're 1600 in the middle, you don't need too much value. Goes in, locks in the 6-mon pair. I think a normal cut there would be the 5-so or even the 6-pin. And there is the 6-pin. But Ishun 10 on the left. Of course, we mentioned earlier, Ishun 10 on the right. And now Ishun 10 across, that is a headless.
This east is not going to get shoved quite
Well,
yet.
that is Tenpai if you take... I would definitely take this, because then I could just switch to almost anything with Honitsu. But currently, Tonki on the Tuso for Sha Nomi.
Yeah, we don't want to end this hand on the Tuso.
Well, no, but there we go. See, even this ugly 2-mon weight, which is 1 left, is still better. Because now you just have
Now it's
Sha Honitsu.
Shahonitsu.
There's Dora. You might even just switch to Dora Tonki. I definitely would have switched to the Dora Tonki. There's an easy Chi, and Tenpai on the left should cut the 5-mon. There it goes. Tenpai 2 5-pin on the left, and there are a bunch of those left. Oh, and there's the fill there on the right. That is Richi, Pinfu, Itsu, possible Dora, a monster hand developing. Oh, I would switch with the 1. Cut the 1. Wait on the Genbutsu 4.
Does not
Oh, no!
punish.
Instant punish. Yeah, just throws the safe 9 there. Oh, speaking of 5s, that's the weight, so that's... Oh, no.
Oh,
We'll deal it on the
no.
left if this gets shoved. Can also switch, because there is a
Oh,
Yakubai, of course.
there's a
Oh,
switch.
and there's the Dora draw on the left.
Oh,
We'll
God.
heal in, but it'll be on the cheap end. Only Mongon level as opposed to 5 Han. Oh, and that because the Dora was not thrown, that was only a Mongon as opposed to a Hanemon. There with the Uradora, but oh no, Merlin, that 4-mon, that was made to order. Unfortunate, but Cliff here's the dealer. Ooh,
And,
now already Ishun 10.
I'm just gonna point out real quick that Vander has a con opportunity already with the 4-3s.
Yeah, but you never want to do that because you can just draw the 2-mon and then you want to have the extra 3. On the right, we have a Haku pair. Pretty bad shapes overall. A couple Kanchan, a couple floaters, 2 8-so. Across the way, maybe a 789 Sanshigu, also one of those 7-mon Dora. And on the left, as mentioned, there are 4 3-mon, but a 1 3 3 3 3 5 5 shape generally wants to hold the 3s unless you have something else connecting, say a 6-mon, and all your other shapes are pretty good. Because if you draw a 2, you just have an Anko and a completed 1 2 3 run.
But what if we pair up the 1-mon and then we can con and not feel as bad?
Well, yeah, but if we pair up the 1-mon, then if we draw the 4-mon, we just cut the 5 and have an Anko, a completed run, and a pair.
I
That
think this is
3-so's really bad there for Cliff, because that's likely going to be the weight here. You don't want to see those disappearing yet. Speaking of disappearing tiles, the 7-so very tempting to call, and will get called here. Ishan 10, kind of an ugly... That feels like a plan to con. If you're taking that Chi, the plan is very likely con right now. No, cuts the 7-pin. I don't really understand that one.
This is just...
yeah, could now be Tenpai just waiting on the 6, potentially. With the 4. Doesn't even make the 4-pin Chi. I'm not sure what Vander's trying here, but regardless, Cliff here has an Ishunten still, now moving towards the 5-mon weight.
I think we're just copium that maybe the 3-mon is just a new Dora when we do con it and we see that 2 in the wall.
Ishunten on the right now needs 3-so and 2-mon or 4-mon. And there's the 4-mon, easy call, waiting on 3-so with lots of upgrades to Toy Toy. 3-so now a very in-demand tile.
Yes, the all-famous Sanzo.
The Niso here is scaring Cliff a little bit because the 8 came out fairly late and it looks toy. So that feels just like an outright fold from
Con.
Cliff.
There's
There's
Con.
your con that you asked for. Oh, we'll have to throw now the double Dora potentially. I would con
boy.
this. I would definitely con this if I were Vander, because you're not going to be able to use those 3s now. Your 5 is your pair. You either cut the 3 directly or you con.
Okay, or just get another one.
Yeah, but you're not even really
Con.
happy about that. Okay, there's the con. Oh my goodness, look at that weight.
Oh, righty then.
7 Mon is 2 Dora, and 6 Mon is 1 Dora. That's actually really scary now for Laura if she gets Tenpai. Yeah, just throws the 2, says forget this.
Boom.
We might see a pull on the right for a Tonki 8 Mon weight.
Oh my
Hanukkah
god.
Tonki. Oh
Oh
no, the
my
8!
god.
Wow,
There's-
big dodge there. To be fair, throwing that 8 is terrifying.
Boom.
That's
But would have had
7
Tenpai
6.
and dealt
It's
in.
on worth in 3 tiles. That is
There's
6
the
on
3, so
3 tiles. Oh
again,
my
would have to throw the
goodness.
double Dora to keep Tenpai, and it would not be for Echo. Oh no! That's Tenpai.
Oh,
And there it
no.
goes! Hanukkah Tonki
Shut-
paying off. No Dora here, but Toy Haku, and that's a nice little win there for Merlin, jumping into first place. And just everything that could have gone wrong felt like it did there for Vander.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean you can't blame Vander for doing the full greed there. Can't blame
There
him
were
for that.
some efficiency questions I had middle of the hand, but towards the end of the hand, I think you just have to take the Tenpai. That 8 Mon is still a scary tile to push, though. But I think I'd have taken the Tenpai and dealt in there. I think it was more the early not taking the Ishan 10 that would be more easily fixable. Regardless, Merlin here is dealer in first place in South 2, has a Chun pair, a possible 6-8 Sanchiku if you can shift down
Boom.
on the Sozu on the right. That is an amazing hand.
Chi.
Wow, the more I look at it, the more I'm drooling. Forso especially would be the ideal draw for Ricci, Pinfui, Peiko, possible Tanyao. Across the way, a whole bunch of pin tiles, and kind of hedging towards the Chinitsu. On the left, we have the Haku Pon, also a floating East Dora. Maybe the plan here is Dora Tonki. We'll see here. The most efficient cut is the Dora. I kind of like the 7-so, and there goes the 7-so. Oh, and there's an East for dealer. We'll hold it for now.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay, no, that 4-so is fine. I thought it was a 4 mod. I can see this ending very badly for the dealer. Because that East Tonki is going to be very dangerous to if it gets held. Okay, gets rid of it now.
Yeah.
There's the 4 and got rid of it just in time. Almost got
Oh,
hard punished for floating it an extra turn.
would have gotten bonked.
Of course, this is just Haku Dora 2. And I feel whoever draws the East here just throws it. Maybe Vander can get away from it because the rest of the hand's a bit of a mess, but there are too many other options.
Chi.
That's Tenpai for
That's gonna be
dealer,
cheap.
Atsuzuke needing the Chun, which is currently held across the way in Vander's hand. And it may
Ich.
come out right here, and there it goes!
Oh.
You see the Roan from dealer, you get a little scared, but the Dora had already come out, so it was just the one Han. And dealer on this hand, though, has 2 Dora. Pretty good shapes
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Already Ishan 10. Needs a 3
Oh,
pin
boy.
and then a 3 Mon, 1 Mon, or 9-so, or 9-so's Dora on the right. Pretty good shape there as well. We have a Chun pair, and an 8 Mon would really help. Across the way, we have a Haku pair. And completed 7, 8, 9. Pretty good shapes altogether. Not too much value, though. And on the left, we see the Hatsu Pon might go Honitsu with this. If you can get, say, 4 pin, 6 pin, or 8 pin. Naima doesn't really do much. There's a pair up at the 8. It similarly doesn't do much, but at least gives you a possible pair candidate. 5-so is a very nice upgrade. A potential Ipeco with Rion-Peiko upgrades. Ooh, the
Oh,
Tumon's
that's
really interesting. Goes in and cuts the 2 pin. Now, the interesting thing here is you do not really want to draw a 1-mon because then you'd be Shampon on just the 9-sto because the 2 is dead. But this is a normal play, and there's your backfire. And oh no. I feel if you make this, you just have to stick with it. You're saying, I think this 1 is going to come, and I'm going to accept it. The advantage of the 1-1-2-2 shape is if you draw a 3, you're just Ipeco on the 3. Oh, no, this is interesting. This will get you out of potential Flurry 10 if you hold the 6.
says no. No.
I
was thinking
like cutting the 2-mon there, giving up the immediate efficiency, and saying if I do draw the 5, I love the Shampon here. And if I draw the 2, we just take it anyway. Instead, we'll pair up the 4, and this will definitely be a 4-pin 9-so. The question is, what do you do on this
Chi.
lower Manzu shape? We have a Chi across the way, and does not take the Tenpai, interestingly.
リーチ
Could have just cut
Oh,
the
there's
8-mon.
Tenpai.
Oh, there's the Yonko you're looking for. This is... Oh, no, it's Ipatsu. Will not deal it yet, though. We'll have 4-pin 9-so Shampon.
リーチ
There's a Ricci on the right. That is a 3-pin Chun Shampon.
The Battle of Champons. Duel of the Fates.
Vander may be able to get out of this, though, with that Haku Haku. No, just gets out of the
Yeah,
Haku
just gets
Haku,
out.
doesn't really worry about. There was a route to Honitsu, but you don't have to shove it.
Oh,
That
there's the
Chun is
Chun, though.
live, and it should be a little concerning. The obligatory. Why have I not seen that tile yet? Well, there it is. We see the
Another
second Chun. Actually, you know what I haven't seen? The last Dora.
Well,
But,
we're
okay,
trying
the
to
9 looks
explore
pretty
for
safe
some
there.
Dora.
5 is safe. We'll just... Oh, there's the last 4.
That's not coming out.
Last draw is a miss. 2 players, Tenpai.
Darn.
So, lots of potential for fireworks, but a couple duds there at the end. We can have South 2-2 with 2 sticks in the middle, so this is one where you just want to win the hand a lot of the time. Deal with a decent hand here. 7 would really help. 4-mon would help a lot as well. On the right, Pinfu type hand, but a lot of floaters still to get rid of. Across the way, Haku pair. The rest of the shapes are pretty bad, but I feel just call and go, especially with all that in the middle. But that 8-so 7-so cut from the start is questionable because you just have so many things that connect. And here, cuts the 3-pin. I don't know what Vander is up to, but cuts away from the Dora shape. It almost has to be like Kokushi from, what was that, a 5 start? 6 start?
Con? No. Maybe
Regardless,
all honors? Maybe.
again, you're so far away from any of that. On the left, though, getting a little closer here, South pair up. Great shapes there. Can also accept a Dora as well.
Chi.
Can't call
Yes.
that. It cheapens the hand significantly, but 1,000, 2,000, not a big deal. And especially with all the tiles that are coming out, you're less worried about it. But this is also the problem. This is something I've noticed just over the time I've played is you don't really want to be Otozuke when someone's going Kokushi. The problem is that Cliff isn't certain it's not Honitsu and Manzu, because that's what it looks like. It does not look like a Kokushi pond at all. Or at least not yet.
リーチ
And there is our first Tenpai. On the right, it is Richi Nomi on 7-so. It is Tsuji to the Richi tile, but all of them are locked up in Cliff's hand.
Yeah, just a Penchon, though.
There's one discarded across. Oh, yeah, now this never wins, because that 7-so never comes out under any circumstances. Because there's just good weight on the left with 3 Richi sticks in the middle. And Merlin gives up the fight. Could have thrown something a little more dangerous to keep the Ishan 10.
相撲
Oh, just sumo. And that one Han is 4,700 from one Han. That's enough to jump into first here in South 3. Dealer here, decent hand here, can call the tune, potential toy routes, reasonably efficient hand, but not particularly expensive on the right. We have a Haku pair, one of each of the wins, and that's never something you want to see, is one of all of those tiles. Across the way, pretty standard Pinfu, 789 Sanchiku looking pretty good there. On the left, you can go for the winter with your Sanchiku, you can even push towards Junchan, but I think you just play efficiently and see what happens.
Hmm.
That's Ishan 10 across the way if you got 4-mon or 3-so. And there goes the 3-so. We see the 8-pin fill there on the left. Ooh, that 2-mon's very inefficient. I feel if you're going to go that route, you can always cut the 4-mon or the 7-mon. This allows you to keep both the Sanchiku and the Itsu, but there were ways to do that without really hurting the hand's speed, and the 2-mon really slows it down. See the tune call for dealer, who's now Ishan 10.
Yeah, wow. This dealer hand's looking to finish my
Tenpai.
play really quick.
They just toy on 2-pin 4-so, Chun toy. We see the 2 is dead, but the 4-so is live. And the 4-so is Nakasuji, so if someone's trying to defend, but that just deals in for the Sanshogu only, which is going to shut this down. Cliff says, you know, I just want to be first in South 4. I need to be greedy here.
Wow, I love how every part of the hand that was not shown was marked in orange. Like anything you throw could be dangerous.
It has happened many times before. I've had hands where I had 13 tiles and 12 of them were orange.
Anyway,
Dealer
this is
here.
all last.
Yes, we are in all last. East Dora. Dealer does have one. Would love to pair it up. The shapes, though, are still pretty good. Potential reach Pinfui Peiko, especially on a 5-man draw. The 3-mon definitely speeds this hand up, although it just kind of kill off the Peiko. On the right, we have a Haku pair up. Can kind of call and go, which in first place is really all you'd need. Across the way, looks like a pretty standard Pinfu. And on the left, whole bunch of Manzu tiles, but it's still pretty
has to give
standard
up the
Pinfu type
east.
hand. Yeah,
It
but you're not
does.
complaining about throwing the East there. You're Ishunten for Richi Pinfu 3-sided.
Well, you're kind of sad because it's your seat and it's Dora.
It's also
I mean,
once cut, so it's not that strong.
but you still could have paired it up though.
Well, yeah, that would be nice. At the same time, it's not that big a loss. When you're in dealer and you have a lot of work to do, the most important thing is just start winning hands.
Hmm. But my value.
Well, we're about to see the Tenpai here. The value is from Sumo, Ipatsu, and Ura.
Chi.
We see a Chi to break the
Ipatsu.
Ipatsu and can just call the Haku and wait on this.
Oh,
But not if
there's
someone
dealer.
deals in first. Richi, Pinfool, see if they're ready. Ura. There's Ura 1. That's a pretty big hand then. A huge gap opened up between Vander and Laura. Vander now a much better position and can now make a play for first place. Let's say a Mangan Sumo here. Has a Haku pair, can call that. The rest of the hand isn't too valuable, but is getting there quickly. On the right, few pairs, decent shapes, can accept Dora. Actually cuts one of the pairs, which mildly surprises me. I would normally like the lock-in, but you also have Yakuhai. Speaking of Yakuhai, we're going to see the 8-pin called. That was the last one. Planning to call the Haku and just float Ishan 10, potentially with a Dora acceptance. Across the way, Devil looks like Tanya, possibly Peiko, possible Rion Peiko. Will require some very specific draws, though. And on the left, very close, actually, Ishan 10 for Richi. Oh, there it is. Richi Tanya.
Richi Tanya.
With where that is, do you just slam that or you get greedy?
Depends on if I can depends if I can get what I need quickly, but
So you
it
Dama for
is,
maybe a couple turns to see what happens.
yeah.
Of course, you see the 2-3 in the discards that Ipeco Pinfu would have been so much better, but we see dealer has to throw the 5 because the 4's discarded earlier. And still Ishan 10. Ooh, interesting. That 6 will help this hand potentially. We'll have to throw the 2 so, but throws the 6 instead. Desperately still needs the Haku here.
Haku.
Speaking of, there's one of them. We know where all of them are now. Out it goes. That
Oh,
should be a call and a Tenpai push. Waiting on 4-7 so, which is terrible. There is 1-4 and 1-7 versus the 3 so, which has 2, so it's 2 versus 2.
oh boy.
There's Dora. Goodbye, Dora. There's a 3 so. So now it's 1 versus 2. Oh, just Sumo.
Oh,
Ricci Sumo Tanyao.
and no.
Dora, but will reduce the gap here in 4th place. The big winner here is Cliff, 26.4. In second, Merlin. Nice couple of games together here with a 14.7. In third's Vander, minus 11. It's a pretty decent hit in that second to last hand to salvage a respectable third. And Laura, unfortunately, deals in there on the second to last hand, but wins there on the end to only take a minus 30.1.
And those scores are going to, oh, and they just updated now. And Laura takes a little bit of a tumble, but not too bad.
Yeah, we see here, what's the, other than Scott, everyone who's sitting here with a 25% win rate is doing well. Scott H, though, getting hit quite a bit because even with all those wins, the average win is only 34-11. But generally, you can look at this and see winning hands equal winning division, or at least doing pretty well. Of course, Ziyang there at the top of that 30% we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
But Cliff in a reasonably solid 4th place now. Merlin in 5th and Laura dropping to 8th. Vander, though, sitting in 21st, has a lot of work to do. When your win rate is below your dealing rate, you have work to do.
That's okay. We still got 2 more sessions to turn that around.
Yeah, of course. In other beta leagues, we only played 20 games, but we talked about it, and there's not really a point of a playoff at this point. So we go ahead and have everyone play all full 6 sessions, even if you're in a beta league, with a chance to promote or double promote. And with that, that's the end of this series. So I think we're going to hang it up here.
Oh, man.
So we saw some very interesting hands. Of course, anytime you see a bunch of cons and then 7-mon being double Dora and 6-mon being a Dora as well, that's very scary. And the one hand that wins is the Toy that doesn't use any of them.
And we also had a couple of back-to-back pure straights in that first game we saw tonight. That was a bunch of pure fun.
All right, then. This is when we do our obligatory plugs. Twitter, American Ricci, AmericanRicci.org, and I will keep yelling about it every time until it actually gets changed. YouTube is youtube.com/@AmericanRicci. And if you want to hear more of me, I will be doing the Yukon Fuji Cup on the WRC channel, the last game of the day. We're going to be doing it Thursday, Friday this week, Thursday, Friday next week. We had it Thursday, Friday last week, so a whole bunch of that. And of course, we hope to see you tomorrow, as we will almost certainly have a stream then here on this
Yahoo!
channel at American Ricci. So for Jen, Alex, Nathaniel, and this is Korak, wishing you a good night.